Welcome back to the Lego Chronicles podcast. I'm Dylan, my co-host Alexa, and this week we are going to finish where we left off with the Mustang. We had a missing piece, and we found that missing piece, and so now we shall continue.
Except for you're still going to be building, because I clearly cannot build and talk.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You help me organize.
Okay. So, the baby shower is this week. Are you excited?
I am. This stuff just keeps rolling in. It's crazy.
I know. I can't wait to open all the presents. Like they're for me.
Oh my god. You love opening and buying things.
I do. I like swiping credit cards and I like ripping boxes open. Except for not this kind of box. Cause
Gotta be all careful.
Yeah, I don't like being careful.
Just want to shred it.
Yep. There's literally a picture of me as a baby. Like, I'm probably like 3 or 4. And it's Christmas time. And I am opening my presents with my teeth.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many presents have you opened with your teeth?
I don't know. My mom just has that one photo.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, you were always a savage.
This is true since the first day I met you.
Yep.
Super savage.
What did I do on the first day?
So, this is a crazy story. So, I took her back to make dinner after we'd worked out because I was really broke. So I was like, I can't take you out, but I can make dinner. So we had some just chicken and rice, I think. Chicken, rice, and broccoli.
You did even saute the broccoli.
Lightly steamed it,
and
okay?
I was like, what? I have never ate broccoli this raw before.
I
was so confused. And you were on this health kick. You're like, yeah, that's how you get all the nutrients.
I know. I had learned some new things, okay? I was really about it. And then so yeah, we were doing that. But anyways, you just, like, before I even got back, I served her plate, went to go get my plate, and she is already gone with all her food. Like, she's on her last bite of chicken. And I hadn't even sat down because I didn't serve myself. I just went back, got the food, and I come over, and she is looking like, oh, just so innocent. I didn't do that. And it's all gone. I was speechless.
Yeah, you looked at me like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I was like, wow.
I was so embarrassed. I was like,
in my house right now. Yeah.
I was like, I fucked up. He's never gonna text me again.
I was like, oh, astonished. I thought I ate food. Whew. That was next level. That was some very next level eating.
I was like so shocked when like you still text me. I was like, damn, okay. Like I didn't fuck up. Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, you're probably like, oh my god, I can't fuck this up again.
Yeah, I never did it again, did I?
Every day. Every day.
Every day?
Maybe not every day. But
not while we were dating. I kind of...
You still... Oh, yeah, you just held back a little bit. You would, like, eat as... You might, like, finish right before me, but not, like, way before me. But I always finish last. I always finish my food last.
Yeah, you eat really slow.
Gotta enjoy it. Gotta enjoy the meal, you know?
So I know you're supposed to eat slow because it gives your stomach, like, time to digest, like, one bite at a time. And it's, like, also to enjoy it. But I'm just, like... I just want to eat. Like, this is so good. I don't want to take a slow break. It's
patience. I used to eat like that when I was younger, teenager and stuff. I ate like that. And I don't know, after one of my surgeries, like, I wasn't eating a lot. And my stomach shrunk. And it got to the point where, like, at one time, I couldn't even keep a burger down. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? So I slowly started eating more and more, like, forcing myself to eat more often to get my stomach back. But, yeah, ever since, I have to eat slow.
So is that why you eat slow now?
I never used to. I get sick, though. I eat too fast. No. It is weird.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever learn from a surgery or any experience like that. I would, like, as soon as I can go back to normal, I would.
I sometimes, like, at work, I always feel like my appetite's times 10 at work.
Really?
I don't know.
Probably because you're working.
Yeah,
You're burning more calories, you know?
Yeah, even when we don't do much, I'm still like, oh man. But I am up super early.
Well, you're also out too. You're like outside most of the time.
Right. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
It could be.
Like being in the sun makes you hungry.
Yeah, I would be starving.
Yeah.
But we always we didn't really breakfast. I never really was a breakfast person, so when I eat lunch, I want to go all out. It's my first big meal, and then
that makes sense.
And then a big meal for dinner. So I'll eat a lot, but not fast because I'm eating so much.
Right.
So I have to take my time.
That makes sense.
What's kind of like what is your favorite meal growing up? Like what was your favorite thing to eat?
So my dad made really good lasagna, but he didn't make it that often. It was like a special like thing that he would make. But my favorite thing growing up, it sounds weird, but you know those big shell noodles?
Yeah.
And he was stuffing with cheese.
Ooh,
those like stuffed cheese shell noodles.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. And that was my favorite thing that my dad made. Every time I would go visit my grandma in Nebraska, she always like made me chicken rice and broccoli.
Yeah, didn't you make that for me one time? No, you should.
I would totally love to make that again.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is your lasagna recipe that you're going to make tomorrow the same as the one your dad made, or did you just find it?
I was just going to pick a random one on the website, but I know how to make lasagna from scratch, like with like lasagna noodles. I mean, it's been years since I've done it because my grandma showed me how to do it once.
Did you know?
And I haven't made it since.
Are you talking about where you make the noodles?
What do you mean?
Like from scratch, like where you make the noodles and stuff?
Yeah, like you make your own pasta noodles.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
My grandma Teresa knows how to do that.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she sometimes does it for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for Lucky. It's not lasagna noodles, but same thing. It's pasta noodles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, the thing you need, the equipment you need to make your own noodles, I don't even know where you get it. Like, probably Target, but...
We don't have one of those nearby.
Yeah, we don't.
It'd be nice.
Feels so foreign not having a Target nearby.
Even, like, I grew up in a small town, but it wasn't this small. This is a really small town.
Is that?
Yeah, the Dalles only has, like, 4,000 people. 4,000. Hood River is smaller, technically.
Really?
I know. Yeah, crazy.
It's weird that Hood River is smaller because, I mean, I love Hood River. I think it's beautiful and it's like super clean and people.
It does seem nice. Like it seems like a better area.
Yeah, it's just like cleaner and it's like people seem more family friendly.
All right. Yeah. For sure.
So it's, I don't know why.
It's smaller. So
I don't know why that would make it weird that it's smaller, but for some reason my head, like, family friendly.
To me, it makes more sense.
Cities should be a little bigger, like a suburbia.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the smaller it is, like, if you're not getting along with your neighbors, like, you're going to need those people when things go south.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the weather can be crazy out here, so.
It can, yeah. It's been, like, super windy all day.
Yeah, it was just nice a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's how big it is.
That's the biggest it gets?
This is the wheelbase.
Oh,
so
okay.
Here's the front. This is the back wheels, and that's the front wheels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's probably a little bit longer with the bumper.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But what people don't realize about Hood River, which I didn't even know either until I made this friend that's just moved to the Dalles the same time we did, but she moved from LA, and she said she almost lived in Hood River, but she ended up not living there because it was just as much as her LA apartment. And she was like, I wouldn't pay that to live in a city like Hood River. There's not shit to do.
It must be, Like from all the people in Portland that don't want to live there, I think.
Maybe, because it is not very far from Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nicer than Portland.
Didn't you say you run into a lot of those people at your job?
What, Hood River people?
People that, well, even from here, I guess.
Oh, you mean people that travel to Portland for work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised, like, how many people actually go to Portland for work, because you did at one point, and I thought that was nuts, but it's like, oh, you weren't the only one doing it.
Yeah, even on that job, there was another guy doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, that was interesting to learn.
He wasn't coming. I wish he was coming from here. We would have rode together. He was in a little town called Sweet Home.
Oh, I know where that is.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Sweet Home.
Yeah.
I used to live there for a little bit. Land is pretty cheap out there.
Really? In Sweet Home?
I mean, it's not cheap, but it's cheaper.
Cheaper.
Yeah, when you're talking about comparative to other areas.
Yeah. I definitely... Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely like Oregon. I don't really feel like you can go wrong.
I can't wait till you're not pregnant so we can go on some waterfalls.
I can't wait until I'm not pregnant.
What do you think about,
almost
how's it going?
Done.
How's being pregnant?
It sucks.
Yeah?
It's just as sucky as I thought it would be.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's not suckier than you thought?
It's like I knew I was going to hate it, like walking into it.
Yeah, I didn't think you would ever do it, honestly.
I didn't think I was ever going to do it either, but like one day I got fucking emotional and I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Just one day?
Yeah, kind of happened. I was like, okay, you know what? I love him so much. Fuck it, let's do it.
Yep. Now's the time.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait. It's what I've always wanted.
What, a baby?
Yeah, to be a father.
Yeah. Yeah, so pregnancy is not my favorite. I don't know if I can do it again. We might have to adopt an Asian baby like I always wanted.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's fine. At least we have one of our own.
But yeah, you know, I did it once, you know.
One and done.
I definitely don't think
I think one kid's going to be a lot to handle anyways.
It is.
As we're both working.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably just deal with this one for a while and see how things go.
Especially with the state of affairs that the country has fallen in.
Right. They say, like, only children are like aliens, but I don't really think that's true.
They do? Who says that? I like this theory. I'm going with it. But who says that?
It was, like, on a movie. I can't remember what movie it was, but they were, like... It was, like, a husband and wife. The wife didn't want a second kid, and I literally can't remember what movie it is. Oh! What to expect when expecting.
Oh, that was a good one. We just watched that.
Yeah, the funny one.
I must have fell asleep at that part or something, though.
She didn't want a second kid because she was a fitness instructor.
Oh, that lady.
So she's like the same as me, and like she's all about her fitness, and being pregnant was interfering with that.
It's horrible. I didn't think that you would go psycho, like, from not being able to exercise. You're like, I can't exercise and it's horrible.
It is horrible.
I'm like, okay, but like just take it easy, you know? It's almost over. You clearly, like, I've had surgeries, so I know what it is to take it easy. I'm like, alright, just gotta wait it out. It'll get better. I
had surgeries too, and I didn't take it easy. I did shit I wasn't supposed to do.
That's so wise. Yep, that's very smart.
I birthed my 5th metatarsal in track doing the high jump in like middle school. I was auditioning. You
did high jump? I knew you did that.
I only did it for the audition because I had to audition or try out. Sorry, I had to try out for the high school team.
Modeling's like ingrained in you.
Yeah. Okay. So I had to try out for the high school team in middle school.
That makes sense.
If I wanted to be on the high school team.
Wait,
when I was in
middle school, they were scouting you that early?
They made you try out like a year before you were going to be in high school.
Wow.
Before you got to high school.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So you have to like know, like we didn't even have, well, I went to a K through 8 middle school. We didn't have track.
Oh, really?
It wasn't in middle school. It was just K through 8. I think I graduated with one of the biggest classes. Had like 30 kids, 31 kids.
Small town crap.
Yeah. Hey. Country. We lived in the country.
Yeah, so anyway, so I broke my 5th metatarsal doing that. I couldn't walk. My dad had to come pick me up, carry me to the car. I literally could not even walk on my foot.
Ooh.
And like, so I got surgery on my 5th metatarsal, and I still have a titanium screw holding it in place. I was supposed to get it removed, but I was like, I am not going back in that surgery room. I am not doing it. Because it was like a nightmare. Like, they rolled me into the surgery room, and it was like all white, and slowly I'm like passing out because they gave me medicine. And it literally reminded me of that scene of the Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, where they're in this white room. Oh! Do you remember that scene?
No.
It was terrifying. It looked like there was no doors, no way out. Like, I was just like, I can't do this. Like, again. So, anyways.
I have to get this escaped piece. Carry on.
So, I was in a boot, and my mom literally made me sit on my...
Do you have to sleep in it? Or can you take it off?
No, I took it off at night and for showering, but otherwise I had to be in it. Ugh. And it was gross because, you know, when you're in a boot for so long, your body, like, that part of your body starts to stink.
I know that happens with casts. So the boot, you can't take the boot off just like a cast?
No, you take the boot off at night to go to sleep and in the shower. But other than that, you have to wear it. And then, anyways, so the point of telling the story was that my mom made me not do shit for this one. And she would be like, okay, you can't do anything. I'm going to buy you movies every day, watch a new movie every day to just sit still. Like, just sit there and watch movies. Don't move. And then I would still, like, try to do things, like, on my crutches. Like,
so, one of the surgeries I had, we had got another couch. And I took this couch, it had a recliner, and I put it like 6 feet in front of the TV. And we bought a new TV, and I just sat in front of the 70-inch, and Netflix was just becoming a streaming service during this surgery, so it was like perfect timing. And that's the only way I got through it.
Whoa.
Yep, and I would sit in front of the TV, because it was my shoulder, so I couldn't do anything. It was
I literally hated that part about being injured. Is all I could do was sit, and you know me, I hate sitting.
Yeah, and you feel helpless, like you can't do anything on your own.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And it's like I literally gained weight from not moving. And I hated that part too.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, and I just never I don't like gaining weight, and I don't like not being able to do things. I don't like not being able to be active. I
don't like when I gain weight, it's not like my clothes start not to fit during the surgeries and stuff. Right. And then mainly though, you feel tired all the time. Like I always felt tired from being, so I do the same thing I do before, and I lost a lot of the atrophy was crazy. So my warm up that I used to do as a warm up was like excruciating. I couldn't even finish it.
Wow.
Yeah. That shoulder one was bad.
That's not good.
No.
I think the reason why, I don't know about you, but like the reason why I feel like I don't like not being able to be active or like gaining weight, why it freaks me out is because I feel like I have to look at myself in a different light now. Like, I'm not the same person. Like, I have changed, and I don't really deal well with change.
This is true.
So, it's like, oh, shit. Like, I gained, like, 15 pounds. Fuck. Like, I can't look at myself the same way as I did before.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I experienced that. I understand. And it's weird. Like, what do you think about dealing with change? You've been dealing, we kind of already talked about it on the first episode, but you've been dealing with a lot of change since you moved here. Mm-hmm. What is that, like, have you learned to experience change in a more, like, open arms type of way, or do you still resist it a lot? Have you noticed a difference?
I think I will always be resistant towards change. until I have been in the cage for a while and I have nothing more to do but just sit there and reflect. You know what I mean? Like, when, like, I think I'll always resist change at first, but once I get a handle of, like, the new change, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you do experience it in a weird way where, like, you're always going to freak out no matter what news it is.
Yeah.
Good news, bad news, you're going to freak out for a minute. But then you're like, oh, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, like, because me, I'll hear the news, but I got to process it, whatever it is. And then it's fine, but you're like, I'm going crazy about it and spazzing out. Like, I can't even talk. What's the plan or this and that? You're just like, I need to freak out. You gotta freak the fuck out. Once I'm done freaking the fuck out, then we can talk. But that's gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tomorrow.
Yep.
So today, we just let me be a spaz and fuck you. And then tomorrow you're like, oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, I got family there.
It's so true. I think it's just like my brain needs time to like digest the idea. Like you can't just throw like an idea like, oh, let's move to freaking Hawaii at me like that. Like I have to like be like, okay, can I just like process this?
And but also in the same, like on the other side, you love spontaneity and you love to do spontaneous shit. Just not if it's like your entire life. Like,
no,
as long as
it has to be my idea. Like, like if my idea to be spontaneous, I have thought about it a lot before I did it.
Okay, that's the opposite of being spontaneous.
Not really.
Wow. Yeah, it is.
No, it's not because like listen. So like I'd be like, okay, should I go to New York this weekend to just be in New York? I don't know. Like I kind of have work this week, but like
you dropping pieces. Yeah.
Just one.
I got it. I got it.
And I'd be like, well, whatever though. Like I'll find someone to cover my shifts, and I'll go to New York. Like who cares?
Man, quit fiddling around if you're gonna drop them. Here, help me organize. No, you can just tell stories. I love listening to your stories.
You're interrupting me.
Sorry.
Now I have to start from the beginning.
Okay, from the top.
Okay, I'm kidding. So what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna keep repeating this.
Carry on.
Like, I would think about stuff like that. Like, okay, like, my friend asked me if I want to go to...
I guess it's still kind of spontaneous.
Like, oh, do you want to go to Asheville, North Carolina with me this weekend? I don't know, maybe. Like, I have to figure it out. Like, should I... Do I want to? I mean, I only live once, right? I could die tomorrow. Should I just go? Yeah, fuck it. Let's just go. Like, I have to have that thought process first.
That's fair.
I can't just be like, yeah, let's go. Like,
see, like for me, I'm truly spontaneous. Like, cause I could have a job and be like, well, gotta be there tomorrow. I've literally quit a job on the highway to the next job. Left that night. And they called me at work. Was like, I'll be there. And I left that night. And I called in the morning and told the boss, hey, I'm not gonna make it into work anymore. I'm 3 states away. He was like, oh man. And yeah, I was like, funny. When I get back in town, it was a lot of money, but when I get back in town, I'll come back to work for you. And I did. I went back to work for him.
That's funny.
What can you do? You're going to get paid, you got to get paid, you know?
Right. Like, I feel like I'm pretty spontaneous. Like, for example, like...
You came out here.
Well, not that. Like, coming out, yeah, I kind of was spontaneous. But what was even more spontaneous than moving out here with you was I told my mom the night before, I was like, hey, I book a one-way ticket to Florida. I'm moving tomorrow. You're taking me to the airport.
That's the most spontaneous. See, that's what spontaneous is.
Yeah.
Next day.
But I have thought about it thoroughly before I did it.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I had a garage sale. I sold all my stuff. My mom had no idea why I was having this garage sale. I just told her, oh, I just need to, like, declutter. And then I was thinking about either moving back to Santa Cruz, California, or to move to Florida.
I like Santa Cruz.
Me too. It's a really cute beach town.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, but I really lived in California. Like, lived somewhere that I haven't experienced yet?
Out of all the places you lived, where's your favorite? Orlando? Good question, huh?
I don't love California anymore. I feel like it's a corrupt state and it's going
downhill quick.
It's not going the right direction. Don't love Minnesota. It's too cold and everyone's really what they call Minnesota nice is
so
really.
Explain that.
Minnesota nice is just passive aggressiveness, like nice to your face, talk crap about you behind your back.
Weird. Yeah. I don't understand that.
Yeah, and it's like when you meet. I'm not a true Minnesotan, so I can't use myself as an example because I'm not that way. But my dad's a good example.
Okay, explain.
You know the whole like thing about like. Not letting me come to his house for Christmas.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Every year since 2020, and won't tell me why. But then he tells me why, like 2 months ago, and it's because my stepmom says my energy is too loud.
See, that is weird. That is okay. So they're just being assholes. So Minnesota nice.
They won't be direct and honest to my face. Instead, I have to wonder.
For years.
Yeah.
So that's a normal thing that happens in Minnesota?
Kind of. Not like that extreme. That was a pretty extreme example.
Yeah.
But similar. Like maybe someone's like already like dismissing you from their friend group, but they won't tell you.
Damn.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't support that.
So
there was a time in my life where I might have like told a white lie, especially to get out of trouble.
Right, but that's different.
But regardless, there was a point where I don't know when the switch happened, but it was like somewhere, like I think I just turned 18, and I was like, I'm no longer gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I don't care. You can ask me anything. I'll tell you the truth, whether it's bad or not. I'm not gonna lie to people anymore, and. So, like, I don't have a tolerance for that kind of stuff in the people that I associate with.
It's not nice.
No, it's not cool at all.
Yeah.
And it's disrespectful. It's the utmost disrespect.
Yeah, I agree.
It's human dignity. Just speak the truth.
Right. So, I mean, in, like, Florida, I feel like people are the opposite, where they're so direct, but it can come off as rude because they're so blunt, they don't care. If they hurt your feelings, because that's what the truth feels like, though.
Yes, and that's more love. You're gonna get more love. Like sometimes love hurts.
Yeah.
Sometimes if a friend really loves you, they're gonna tell you the painful truth.
Right. So I feel like Florida is definitely my favorite place I've lived. But I mean, that doesn't mean I love everything about it, but I love most things about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What is the most beautiful state you've ever visited?
Oh, this might shock you.
Okay.
Montana?
Yeah, it is. I agree. I've lived in Montana, so I would say that you're totally correct.
Yeah, and then it's maybe Tennessee is like next on the list.
I would definitely live in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I love visiting, and just the money. I don't like the fact that it's not a very good. I mean, it depends what you're in. In my industry, it's not a good
place to be.
Place to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
No. You got to work a lot of hours, and I'm about working more money, less hours.
Yeah, I know.
Who's not? Who wants to be like, I want to work more hours?
I don't know if I would want to live in Tennessee. It is beautiful, but I don't know if I want to live there.
No, I would like to ideally have multiple homes. In multiple places, like, because we have too much family.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why. Like, the family, and it's like, especially when we have a kid coming, having family on 4 different states.
It's
really
crazy.
5.
Yeah, it's
or
crazy.
more if we really start counting. But
well, we have your family and some of my family
in Arizona,
California. Then we have Arizona, we have Minnesota, Nebraska, we have Florida. Am I missing anything?
Bahamas.
Oh, well, that's not a state. That's
Yep, country.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of places. And it's so hopefully things will get cheaper and it'll be easier to fly to visit the family.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. My mom, like the position we're in was my parents when they had me and my brother.
They lived all alone in California.
Yeah, my parents, they both moved to California where they met each other, and then they had me and my brother. And then we would fly to Minnesota one year, and then we'd fly to Nebraska the next.
Would it be like every holiday you would go somewhere else? Or was it like some holidays we just stay home and then like Christmas we go?
I think there was I definitely remember Christmases at my own house.
Okay.
So
people came to the house to do Christmas.
Yeah, or like maybe we skipped some years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like every year we flew to see my grandma's in Minnesota and in Nebraska. It was just, I do remember flying since 3. Like, I remember like going through the airport where they didn't have TSA.
Whoa.
And
what's that like? I actually never experienced that.
It's very freeing. It's just, it feels like America.
True freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because
weird.
the best part about, like, going to the airport before TSA was that your family could meet you at the gate.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, like...
So they could be at the gate waiting for you?
Yeah, so whenever we would fly to Nebraska, my grandma would literally be at our gate where our plane would connect.
That's so cool.
To land.
So as soon as you get off, you're seeing your family?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the best feeling, because you're like, you see grandma as soon as you get off the plane.
Yeah, it's very personal.
Yeah.
Much better experience. Now, like, people don't even get out of the car, because you gotta pay for parking and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Like, well, I can't even go, I'm just gonna wait in the lobby.
Yeah. When it changed, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna miss, like, going to the gate.
Yeah, that's weird. I do remember waiting outside. Yeah, I don't think I ever, even at the small airport in Reading, never went out on the tarmac or at the gate. We always had to wait outside the fence.
Yeah, but the small airport in Reading is probably the closest feeling to it.
Yep. And even now, like when we went there recently,
yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like that. It just felt more like homey. It felt more, I don't know, it's just like, it has more of a warm feeling when you can see your family members at the gate.
Yeah.
But now you can't do that, so...
This is a hard sticker to place. I like Legos with stickers, but sometimes...
The stickers are hard.
It's like too many.
Oh.
I could have just done without, but... Like this one's weird because you got to put it over that spine. There's like a slot, so I had to make sure... Yeah,
and it's not even long enough. It's not covering the whole thing.
I know. That's kind of a weird...
sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did it right, though. Yeah. Huh. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, what are these? It looks like it's gonna be covered.
Not the back, though. Oh, I guess. Yeah. No, not close. Close, but not actually covered.
So, what is, like, I feel like this is something we don't really talk about.
What's that?
Like, what are your biggest, like, pet peeves?
Ooh, good question. Oh, man. Well, I think I nailed the first one already. Lying for sure.
Yeah.
Top of the list.
Yeah, I learned when I first met Dylan that I cannot lie to him or I might end up in hell.
Yeah. It's the devil.
Lying to Dylan is not a good thing.
No, I don't deal well with liars.
No. He gets super, super, super scary angry. And we're going to have to tell our daughter, like, don't lie to her dad. And you might not be living here with us the next day.
It's going to be just big lecture on why it's so bad and how...
Yeah, but if it was me, you would kick me out.
No way.
Before we got married.
Well, we were not before we got married. I didn't, so you're still here.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
I was very mad, yeah. But that happens.
Yeah.
You can't just, when you really love someone, no matter how much they piss you off, you're still gonna be there. Unfortunately, sometimes.
Well, good. I'm glad you love me that much.
I know. Showed a lot. It taught me a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, to love me?
Yeah.
Like what?
Self-restraint, like just oh, like,
Oh my god.
I realized I was ready to be a father. I was like, okay, if I can deal with her grown ass, I can deal with a child.
Oh my god, wow.
Yep. You're better, though. You got way better. You live in a totally different, like, level of discipline. You were great at discipline when it comes to the gym, yeah. Yep. At the gym every day. Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
You did it wrong.
It's crooked as fuck. Can I save it?
I don't know, can you?
I
Do you need me to help you?
I think I got it.
Okay.
It's very difficult. And oh man, yeah, help me try and peel it back. One of the places I lived at, like I've lived in Florida, Montana, Nebraska for a short stint, just for like a month. Then where else have I lived? All over California. I would have to say, for as far as beauty, yeah, I did fuck it up a little bit, but that's fine. Montana's the most beautiful, and I was like talking shit, like, oh, it's big sky country. Okay, you know, I've seen big skies before, and then I got there.
Mm-hmm.
They meant big sky country. I was like, holy shit.
Did you like forget we're not talking about that anymore?
Are we not?
I asked what your pet peeves are.
I just changed it.
Oh.
I just switched up the subject.
Okay, that's fair. Continue.
Yeah. I told you my one was lying. I don't really know.
You don't have anything else?
Not anything crazy.
Okay, no. Continue.
And then I realized I didn't tell you. I was asking you questions, but I never talked about my side.
Yeah, go.
I really love the redwoods.
You didn't think it was actually going to be big sky country?
No.
Why?
I'd seen a lot of beautiful. I've been on top of mountains hunting and stuff. I was like, big sky. I've seen big skies. I just had this cockiness about it. And then I went up on top of the butte by the airport and out to this place called Big Sky Drag Strip. And it was just endless as far as you could see. And it was crazy. And the stars out there, because even the city's still not that big. And so the suburbs, you can see stars forever.
Montana is like really wild because like I agree with you. Like when my dad's like, oh, it's like Big Sky State or whatever. Is that the state motto, like Big Sky, or is that just like?
Well, it's a town as well. Okay. But I think it is like their slogan.
So my dad said the same thing. I was like, okay, like I thought the same thing. Like I seen big skies. Like what do you mean? I wasn't like cocky about it. I was just like very confused. Like what does that mean? And then we get there. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like this is definitely for sure a big sky.
I did the same thing with the Grand Canyon.
Really?
When
jeez,
I was a kid. So the Big Sky, I was not a kid. The Grand Canyon, I was a kid. I just didn't understand it. I was like, but a mile's not that far. I could see a mile. Like, that's a mile. All right, I could see that. It's not that far.
Right.
And they're like, it's a mile down, though. I'm like, okay, so a mile to the north and, miles down, it's the same thing. Not the same. Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
No, but I know that's not the same.
It's deep. I'm not really scared of heights, but that is crazy. Next level.
I definitely I definitely want to go though.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. I would love to go. I had a walking stick, did you ever see the walking stick I had?
Yeah, it was like one of the first, when I first met you and I was like snooping in your closet.
Found it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, what is this? This is so cool. And then you told me all about it and you had like a little...
I lost
what do you call those?
So you get this little, like,
it's a metal
emblem.
thing.
Yeah, it's an emblem. Like a badge. But it goes on the stick, you nail it in with these little baby nails. It helps to drill first, but you can't get it. It'll just probably bend them in the wood. But I had a lot. I had like 14 plus national parks. You only get them at national parks.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was like pretty impressed.
They're gone now. It's gone.
I know, but now you have a new one, but you haven't put your things on.
I know. Kind of still attached.
To the old one?
Yeah, and I thought, I have no idea where I lost it. It's such a shame.
You said you lost it when you moved out here, right?
I had it. I thought I had it in my first RV, and apparently I didn't. Apparently, I probably left it at that lady's house, the last roommate I had, the one that cooked super good. Yeah, her house.
You can probably still message her and ask her if she has it.
I probably not. She would have asked me. She's pretty good about that. But my favorite place that I actually lived, city, would have to be Tillamook. Now, I didn't like the city, but I worked in Portland, so anything I needed I could get in Portland.
Yeah.
But I loved how close I was to the highway, the Pacific Coast Highway, and I could ride my bike down to California in 8 hours and be in the Redwoods, or go all the way up to Washington. And it was just a great place to be located for riding the Harley, as well as in the mountains for the mountain bike. So it was awesome. I lived on the river. I missed that place.
It was pretty.
Only good for certain jobs.
I think when we first started talking again in November 2020, you sent me a picture and you're like, "This is my backyard." That was in Tillamook, right?
Yep, that's exactly
it was
where it
beautiful.
Was. I love that place.
Super breathtaking.
That's the cool thing about the RV life, is that
you can just go wherever you want.
And even if you're like working in the same place, if you want a new backyard, you just go find one.
Yeah,
you find an RV park, and they're usually pretty and on rivers a lot, and you can get on the list, and next thing you know, you're there.
That is like the cool thing about RV life, like, is that if you get bored or like you have a bad experience because like someone, like, you're just not getting along with the people where you live currently, or like you can just pack up and leave. Like, you don't have to deal with it anymore. You're just basically like running away from your problems constantly.
I guess you could look at it like that, I guess.
And then the other thing is, like, I like the fact that we're not stuck.
Yeah, it's a level of independence that very few people experience. We don't have that looming fear of, if I lose my job, what do I do? Because I just go to the next job. I thought about this a lot. You know, we went through the recession, and a lot of people in Red Bluff were construction workers. And granted, I'm in construction now, but I also like saw other people, they lost businesses and stuff. I was just like, I need something stable that is like, you need to be essential. I mean, that term was created, essential worker recently through the pandemic. And that's exactly what my mindset was back in the day when I decided what I wanted to do for a career. And I had other influences, but that was like the main objective, and as well as traveling. Yeah. Because as you just stated, I did a lot of traveling and went to national parks and this and that, and we rodeoed as family, and so I loved being on the rodeo trail, on the road every weekend during the summers and stuff, and so I wanted to be able to do that. Right. And in doing that, I could always ensure things might get rough, but I can always provide for my family, because in the back of my head, I was always going to be a father and provide, like, that's what my goal was since I was 10. Yeah. So.
How do you feel that that dream is finally going to be true? And
coming to fruition? It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. And it's like, I don't know. It'll be even more real when she's here.
Yeah, I know.
But even the fact that you're back in my life is crazy. Sometimes I'm like, whoa.
It is crazy. It still feels unreal sometimes.
Yeah, that's good though. It should.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Like that.
Me too.
Keeps it fun.
Right. But I feel like for dads, I feel like it doesn't, the baby thing doesn't really click until they see it. Like my other friend that is like 3 weeks ahead of me, she said that her boyfriend, it's just, he's like,
he also does the same kind of wild shit I do.
Well, he's what do you call it?
Fire. He fights wildfires.
Yeah, like for like the actual wildfires.
Yeah, that's super dangerous.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, like, she's always telling me, oh, yeah, Austin, like, spends money, like, we don't have a baby coming in, like, a month.
Really?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, he doesn't understand, like, how much money it really costs to have a kid. Like, I don't get it. Like, when is he gonna get it?
Oh, my God.
And I'm just...
You're saying the same things to me.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I guess it really doesn't click for them until the baby's here.
What's the thing that worries you the most about, like, bringing a child into the world? Like, what's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear of bringing a child into the world?
Yeah. Has anything been, like, stressing, like, anything, like, as it gets closer, is there, like, things you think about, like, oh, my God, I hope she doesn't get hurt?
I am, like, at first, I was, like, really nervous about the whole, like, breastfeeding thing. But now I'm not so concerned about that because my mom literally told me, like, she'll help me with it and I'm gonna be fine. And, like, it usually takes, like, 3 to 5 days for, like, milk to come in. So it's like, okay, if it doesn't happen right away, like, it's not something to freak out about.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because, like, what she would get at first is, like, what they call the liquid gold. It's called colostrum. And it's the first, like, round of breast milk, if you will.
Okay.
So it's, like, the first... Colostrum. It's, like...
More watery, right?
No, it's thicker.
Thicker. Oh.
They call it liquid gold because that's where all the nutrients is. That's, like, what's gonna help her, like, develop her brain properly.
Oh, whoa. So it's different breast milk?
It's still from the same
Yeah, but
thing.
it's, like, different...
it's, like, a different form.
flavor?
I don't know if it's a different flavor, but I know it's, like, the first round of, like, breast milk. Then once, like, your milk actually comes in, then it gets a little waterier. Sorry. Watery. Watery. They say if your breast milk tastes sweet, then it's good milk. If it tastes bad and it smells bad, then it's bad.
So you gotta try your own breast milk?
I don't know if you have to try it, but if it
Someone does if it's gotta taste it. I guess you just a little dab, just a little...
I know that if it smells bad, then it's bad milk.
Ugh, yeah.
But it's
a woman can produce milk that's not viable?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. I thought you just, like, some women didn't, they just ran dry or whatever.
Well, I mean, you run dry if you don't breastfeed.
Oh.
And there can be multiple reasons why
you can't? Why you're not allowed to?
Well, you can't either, I don't know what to say, they're moms who are addicts and their baby's an opiate baby.
Oh,
I would say you can't breastfeed.
Right.
This baby's just going to be more addicted.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, maybe some women just can't produce milk for whatever reason. Then their milk dries up because their body, like, because they're not using their breast to feed their baby. Their body's like, oh, we're shutting down we're shutting down the system.
What's a thing that makes a woman not be able, like, it just depends? Like, how would you know if you can or can't breastfeed, though?
I have no idea.
Right.
I don't really know.
So much to learn.
But my mom said that they say if your mom breastfeeds just fine, then you should be fine. I remember the other day, my mom's like, yeah, I had enough milk to feed a third world country.
It's crazy. It's like, wow, okay.
I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to be okay then.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of milk. That's crazy to think about, how much milk.
Right.
That must be painful.
Well, you have to, once you get your milk in and the baby is latching, then you can start pumping, and you have to pump, or if they get too full, and then it does get painful. And then, yeah, so you just have to keep pumping, you have to keep breastfeeding for your body to know that you're still breastfeeding, not to shut down.
Okay.
Because if you stop breastfeeding, then your body thinks it needs to stop producing milk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It happens to, like, same reason you when people take steroids and stuff.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. So you just have to keep on it. And they say, like, if you breastfeed, like, if you go back to work and you're breastfeeding, You have to do it at the same time you normally would, as often as you normally would, because you miss one pump session, then your body already is like, oh, are we not breastfeeding anymore? Like, what's going on? Like,
what are, so you're going to decorate the room this weekend. Like, what are you expecting to do with the room?
I don't know.
Your mom's coming,
My
right?
mom has to come and see it. And then we're just going to go to Home Goods and figure it out.
Like a boho vibe, you said? It'll be cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
You know, my mom's going to go all full cowgirl on the room. Like, not in the room, but...
On her clothes?
Yeah,
that's
everything.
Fine.
Yeah, clothes. I think she already got her boots.
Yeah, she did.
That's fun.
That's fine.
Hilarious.
That's her mom.
Yep, very much.
She can have two personalities.
I did. I had, I guess, an alter ego. I had, like, cowboy me, and then, like, nerd that did, builds Legos.
Yeah.
And does other things, like, I would do the sound. I was in sound tech.
Right.
In school and stuff, so, yeah. Okay to have many different facets of one person.
I never really had just one style of dressing either, so it doesn't really bother me.
She'll fit right in.
Yeah. Growing up, I used to get infatuated with, like, Disney Channel stars. And I
Who
would,
was your
like,
favorite?
Hannah Montana, of course. And then I would, like, literally want to dress like her on the TV show. All these crazy, like crazy outfits from the 2000s.
I didn't watch a lot of that. What kind of crazy stuff was she wearing?
Just think early 2000s.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And then my mom, like, there was this store when I grew up it was called Limited 2. It was, like, a store for, like, girls who are going through puberty. They had training bras, like,
oh, okay.
Like middle school type age clothes. And it was just, like, fun, super girly clothes, had sequins, bright colors, like, it was sparkles, like, everything super girly.
How big of an influence, like, what was your biggest influence in fashion?
My biggest influence was
Disney Channel?
Yeah, I have to say so, yeah. And Cosmo magazine.
But you love fashion, though. Where did that passion come from?
I want to say it was probably from my mom dressing me in cute clothes as a kid. And then when I was 3, my mom was trying to dress me. I was like, no, I do it myself.
Whoa, dude. That's the kind of sass I have to look forward to. Whoa, bro.
I started dressing myself at 3.
Did you tell them the story about... Have you talked about the story about the van?
Oh, God. I don't know if I have.
Well, you better. It's perfect segue with the story of sass talking 3-year-olds. Sassy 3-year-olds.
So... I don't remember. Did I?
No. Either way, carry on.
Okay.
Tell it again.
Okay.
It's a good story.
So... my parents are, like, car shopping because we just need another car. Probably because my mom was basically everybody's soccer mom.
That's a good mom to have.
Yeah, our house was always the house everyone came over to. My mom breastfed one of her friend's daughters from college.
Whoa.
Yeah, like, she was, like, that mom.
That's cool.
And then she always took, like, all the neighborhood kids to the park. Like, so,
really?
Yeah, like, everyone was in our car all the time.
She worked too, right?
Yeah, and she worked.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And so they just need a bigger car for whatever reason, probably for that. And then we saw, like, this van, which I now call the child molester van.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
And then I was so in love with this car because it gave me, like, when you're that age, like, I was, like, 3 or 4, and, like, my imagination was like, oh, my God, this is, like, a school bus for my stuffed animals to go to school, you know? And so we got shown the car, and then I would not get out of it. I would not get out of the car, so my dad's like, well, I guess we're buying it.
That's wild. I still can't, every time you tell me this story, I cannot believe your parents were like, I guess the 3-year-old's right. Guess we're gonna listen to her today.
I
We're
was
gonna get
kind
this
of like
van, 15-passenger van. Did you ever haul around your stuffed animals?
No, but I put them in it and pretend like I was going to school. I never drove. I was freaking poor.
No, I mean you took them with you in the van.
Yes. We shortly after got rid of it and we got a different car. My mom hated it. She's
Good.
like, I can't believe we bought that car.
I can't believe it either, and I wasn't even around. I was a year old, and I still can't believe it.
Oh my god. Yeah, my parents, like, I think they just did whatever to keep me quiet because I was so difficult.
Oh my god. I had to be leashed.
I know.
I had to be leashed when we went to Disney World.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I don't think you really needed it, though.
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I tagged it. I tagged it out like a wild dog.
What do you mean you tagged it out?
Like, when you run out of leash, you go running and you're, oh! I tagged it out, yeah.
Of course you would. So, yeah, we're like both crazy.
It was elastic. So, because it was like bungee, I didn't... I've seen dogs, I've had dogs to where they did that, and it was the one that you can run, the one where you can run, and they ran
the long
out.
One?
They ran out. Boom!
Yeah.
Pulled them back with a harness flipped upside down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like a calf roper tied him. Oh man, it was funny.
It was funny.
And I knew I was like, alright, well, I guess you're not gonna... I could try to call him. Nope. Gone. So I just bared down on the leash. Oh, good times.
That's crazy.
I like to laugh at things that probably shouldn't laugh at. Like dogs flipping over is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I laugh at people's pain sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of dark, but...
It's super dark.
Shut up!
You're not supposed to laugh at that.
I laugh at my own pain. Instead of crying, I laugh.
Yeah.
Growing up,
I guess that's a way to cope.
I always did it. Like, growing up. It was weird. I don't know. I would never really cry.
I did fall down the stairs once in high school in front of everybody, and it was super embarrassing, so I just laughed it off, because what else am I going to do?
Right. Like, you got to be the butt of a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always get to be the hammer. Sometimes you got to be the nail.
Right.
Just don't forget that, and you always you won't get offended when you're the nail.
Right.
I was the nail a lot. I was the youngest of the boys in our family.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You kind of just got...
And my cousins were super athletic. So I was several years younger. So when I try and play with them, it's like Renly trying to play with a big dog. They just school me.
Right.
Yeah. Which, it was still fun. I'm just lucky I had cousins to play with. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, again, like Felicity, no cousins. She's going to be up here. But I don't really we're the first of my family to have kids.
Same.
In our generation.
Yeah,
so
same.
Our kids will be people's cousins.
It's weird because we're both the firstborn.
Yeah.
And we're both the first on both sides of our family to have the first grandkid.
Yeah, and the first to get married.
Yeah, and the first to get married. Isn't that weird?
And also the first to have a kid later in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else after us will be the first, but your parents were later in life.
My mom was 31
side,
when she had me.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah.
My side of the family was all under 20.
Yeah.
My grandma had both of her kids under 20. My mom was under 20. My aunt was under 20. Mm-hmm. For the firstborn, at least.
Right.
And,
under 20 is really
crazy.
Young. It's young.
You're still a kid.
Yeah.
You're still a kid.
Yeah.
I just a couple years ago became not a kid, and you just became not a kid.
I know.
Like when you got pregnant.
Yeah. I kind of grew up when I moved out here.
You did. I'm really, a lot changed. I'm really proud of you. A lot has gone on, and, for someone that doesn't do well with change, you sure experienced a lot.
Yeah, I did.
And took it in stride.
Yeah. It was hard, but I did it.
Yeah, you did well.
Thank you.
Not many people can do that. Not a lot of, some people just don't even leave the county they were born in. And that's sad.
I'm,
Well,
like, very adaptable when I have to be.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to be, I'm not adaptable at all. I am adaptable to survive.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would say you're adaptable if it gets you to what you want. Because if that's what you have to do to get what you want, then that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But if it doesn't benefit what you want, you're like, nah.
That's true.
Seems like a lot of work, dude.
It's so true.
I'm not really feeling your vibe, man.
I have lazy tendencies.
Well, I'm finally admitting it.
I always admit it. I just don't like when you say it, so I defend it. But if I say it, it's fine.
Yeah. I like talking to your grandma about it.
Why?
She
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't want to offend you, but it's like, it's true, honey. And we laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What, she said I was lazy?
No, just about other things. Like you just maturing with with the baby on the way and stuff. And
yeah.
Growing up, she's like, yep, that's just Lexi.
She knows. I was my grandma, I was a lot for my grandma to deal with when I was a kid when we came to visit. Yeah, it was a lot for her.
I bet.
Yeah.
I can't.
Because, like my grandma said, her parents told her she was perfect.
I don't think that's the right method either, though.
No. And so, like, she probably thought that about me, too, but she was like, dang, this kid's so difficult.
She's perfect, though. She doesn't say that anymore. She's one of a kind. Oh, you know, Dylan.
She told you that I'm a lot of work, but I'm worth it.
This is true, though. This is true.
Well, thanks.
Mm-hmm. But perfect is a stretch. That's a stretch.
Perfect is a stretch.
Renly's perfect.
No, he's not.
Look at him.
You told me earlier he talks too much.
Okay, yeah. But now he's perfect. It's very, like, short-term memory loss with the dog. Because cuteness outweighs, like, problems by a lot. Like, with the kid, it's going to be like, oh, my God. And then you're going to look at her and she'll go, oh. And you're like, oh, my God, I need another one.
Yeah, maybe we will wait a while. I cannot be pregnant back to back. I can't do it.
You're gonna be the one that mentions it, not me. And you're like, I need another baby.
No,
you don't think
I don't
so?
see it coming. I don't see that happening. I didn't. I literally was not.
Well, I didn't see the first one coming.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm good either way. I'm good either way.
What do you mean you're good either way?
I don't need another one.
You don't?
I don't know.
We don't know.
First one's not here yet, so I'm like, I'm good, yeah.
Okay, good.
Who knows? We just can't be that old couple. It's like, I'm 42 and I want another baby.
No, we can't.
I don't want an old baby. I don't want to be... I was listening to a podcast and the dude's like, oh, bro, I'm going to be 60 when my kid's graduating. I'm like... Yeah, that's a problem.
That's weird.
That's a problem. Yeah. But if you're 42, you'll be 60 when they graduate high school.
Yeah.
You're an old dad.
So weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how old my dad was when...
Your dad's an old dad. How old is your dad now?
He's 4 years younger than my mom. My mom's 59.
Supporting my family stress-free.
Right.
And able to think about the future and do things that I couldn't do otherwise. And that opportunity, I don't think, is... Because it's out there for everybody. Mm-hmm. If you put the work in, especially someone like you that would put the level of work in that you did to something you don't even like.
Yeah.
You could do that to something... Maybe you still don't like it, but there's reaping a huge reward, getting paid for your education.
Yeah.
Instead of paying and going into debt for an education you don't want.
Right.
Just because you think you need it to make a living.
Right. And I feel like I'm finally at that point where I'm okay with that idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I finally, like, decided that I need to just, like, quit. Like, I need to quit chasing something that's I mean, maybe not quit. Maybe one day I will go back and finish those 2 classes and graduate. Like 2 freaking classes, dude.
It's crazy.
Like, so,
very close. You're very close.
Yeah. So
you could almost do that like part time.
Right, but it's like it's not like my main goal in life anymore. Like I'm not gonna like hang myself like hang it over my head anymore.
Because for a time you kind of felt a little guilty.
Yeah.
Processing that.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I'm glad that you've come to that. That's really like you do go deep. You do grow like at just a slower pace though. But that's a big growth, like mentally, to overcome that.
Yeah.
Because it's not, especially even if you put enough perseverance and dedication into something that you can stop doing it with dignity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've given everything I've got to this thing.
I did in college for 7 years.
Yeah, and it's sometimes something like it's okay to fail. Some of the greatest people in the world have failed.
Right.
But as long as you gave it everything you had, I mean, that's what fighters ultimately want to do is just like, you can't win every fight.
Right. I read this thing. I don't remember where I read it, but like, it was talking about quitting, like how it's okay to quit.
Yeah.
Like, if something is not working out and you never quit, you're just hurting yourself.
Yes, exactly. It does become detrimental to your success. And eventually you're robbing yourself.
And you're not a quitter just because you quit that thing.
You gotta learn when to get out.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
just because you quit whatever that thing is causing you issues that you tried so hard at, doesn't mean you're a quitter. It just means you're going a different route now. Like, this path isn't working.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. And you don't know if something's right for you until you try it. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, I have to be open to it not being right. Right. Sometimes things don't have to be right.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just getting that perspective also, like, helped me, like, kind of just calm down and be like, okay, like, I'm not a failure. Like, it's okay.
Did that cause a lot of, like, that level of pressure cause a lot of anxiety for you?
What about college?
Yeah, like the ever-looming thing of like,
it created a lot of anxiety because, like, before I met you, I felt like if I didn't have a degree, no one's gonna want to be my husband.
Really?
Like, no one's gonna want to marry me. I'm not worth being married to. Like,
oh wow,
I won't bring anything to the table, even though I bring a lot to the table. Like, it's just like what I thought. Like, oh, like, I don't know. It seems silly. It sounds silly.
But it makes sense.
But it's just like, even though like guys are like the provider, and most guys don't want women to make more money than them.
That is weird.
And like most men don't care if you have a degree, but in my mind, it was not acceptable not to have one.
If you made more money than me, I'd be happy to stay home, take care of the kids.
I know.
I'd find a lot of activities to do. Yeah. And there would be no problem. Because honestly, like, I love my job, but I would love doing my job at home instead. Right. So, like, there's a lot of benefits that come with doing the job. And it's, like, you could just be a part-time iron worker. Do it 6 months. Yeah. Do a cool job, finish that job. Now I stay at home. Like, it'd be a cool option. Right. Same for you. Like, if you do end up in the trades, there's times where you don't need to go back to work. Like, I'm just going to take these couple months. It's summer. I want to be with the kids. Yeah. And then, okay, cool. Yeah. It is weird that most men are like that. My dad's like that. But he dated this lady who owned her own modeling agency when I was in high school, I must say. And she just signed me in because she was dating my dad. And that's how I kind of got my foot in the door. Did you? In the industry. And she got me, like, going with the comp card. She got me auditions, like, all that great stuff. She taught me some stuff. But long story short, my grandma died in 2011, and they were going to have to sell the family house that's been around since it was built in the 1950s. Whoa. Because, yeah, that's not cool. So they were going to sell her grandma's house, Her grandma's or your grandma's?
My grandma.
Okay, you said hers.
Oh, sorry. I meant my grandma.
Got it. Yeah.
And my dad didn't want to sell the house, so she was so kind to offer to buy it for my dad.
What?
My dad didn't like that.
Whoa, dude! Don't let your ego get in. Oh my God! Really?
She offered to buy my grandma's house so it can stay in the family. My dad can keep it. And my dad did not like that, and then they literally broke up over that. Because my dad says, oh, the man's supposed to be the provider. She buys his house. How am I going to be the provider?
That's a thing, like...
And I was like, seriously, Dad? You ruined this for me. I was so mad because then after that happened, she dismissed me from the agency.
Damn.
And so it's like, he screwed it up for me.
It's not even that, though, like... That shows a person's character, like... You don't have the humility to just be like, yep, I need help. And, to, like, that's pride.
Yeah, I know.
And then pride gets you nowhere in life. Pride gets people killed.
Yeah.
That's what it does. Pride gets people killed. You get into situations, and it wasn't a physical person that died, but it killed a relationship.
Yeah.
And it killed a connection for more than one person.
And
without thinking about the consequences of this prideful ego. That's a very selfish act.
Yeah, I know.
To do things like that.
I was so mad at my dad. I didn't talk to him for weeks. Like, I was so pissed. I'm like, this is your fault.
At the end of the day, though, people make mistakes, you know? And people, sometimes they'll realize that later in life, or sometimes that's just something that is.
Yeah.
And it just is something we have to learn to accept about certain people.
Yeah, and she helped me a lot. Like... She was so good to me, and that's why I liked her. Like, I really wanted her to marry my dad. Like, she was just...
How long were they together?
I don't remember. But, like, she was just so nice. Like, and, like, I didn't really like most women that he dated, and I really liked her. And...
That's a very noble thing to, like, offer to buy.
Yeah. And she
must have been serious.
Yeah. And she was even, like, super nice to me. Like, she, like, took me on a shopping spree and spent $800 on me.
Whoa.
And, like, when I got pulled over for the very first time ever...
You called her,
I got a ticket because I was going 30 over in the speed limit. And...
You said what?
I was going 30 over the
limit. Damn, what are you... Goddamn, Fast and Furious, where are you going?
Someone was...
You racing? Oh, someone was racing you?
No. Someone was on my tail, and I was getting so mad, and I just took off because I couldn't stand them being on my butt anymore.
So you got some road rage from your mama.
Probably. So I called her, and I was like, oh my God, I needed to go to court with me. Like, because I had to go to court, and I didn't want my parents to find out. My mom knew, but not my dad. My dad could not find out because he was paying my insurance and for my car. I was just paying for the gas.
Made it go up.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
oops,
so
sorry,
I had her to go to court with me, and I had to go to court because they said I could technically go to jail.
Yeah, that's like really bad. That's so high. The level of fuckery that you were doing. Holy shit.
So, yeah.
I think that's like breaking a lot of laws.
It's pretty much a felony.
Yeah, but multiple. Like, you got to the point where you're putting other people's life at risk now. So
I know, but I didn't know. Like, I was such a smartass when the cop pulled me over. I was like, no one told me in driver's ed that I can go to jail for this.
What? You're crazy. You talk to a cop like that?
I did.
I think that's the problem. People don't know how to talk to police officers.
I didn't know, okay? I was like...
Wow.
He's like, this is a court order. I was like, what? I have to go to court? He's like, yeah, technically this is a felony. He's like, technically I can be taken to jail right now.
So what'd you get off with?
So, okay, so she goes to my court case with me, and I have to stand in front of the judge, and they're like, oh, like, you know, this is a very... like, this is reckless driving. You could have, like...
That's what it's called, reckless endangerment.
Yeah, he's like, do you understand that if little kids were around, you could have killed them? Like, and...
A dog.
And then
whatever.
He's like, do you promise to never do this again? I was like, yes, sir. Or, yes, your honor, or whatever I said. And he's like, all right, you made to be dismissed. So, like, he just, like... gave a warning.
No way. You didn't even pay a fine?
No, I did.
Oh.
She did. And I had to work for her for free until I paid it off.
Nice. That's a good way to get free labor.
Yeah.
I mean, she paid for it, but
yeah,
good use of
it was $400 total, and I just had to work for free for her at the agency until I paid off my debt.
I bet you learned.
I did.
So it makes sense why you don't like getting in trouble with the cops. Had a bad experience. That's actually a really good experience. Honestly, that's a really good experience.
I have never sped again to that degree.
But yeah, you're very much, that's what you do. You're like, oh, we can't speed. Like, you're very much like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
It lasted. When you said, oh, no, sir, you meant, no, sir.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah, never again did I ever do that.
You do learn.
Yeah.
Very fast. I didn't learn fast.
And that's why when I'm in the car with you, I'm like, babe, you're going 10 over.
I know.
And you're like, it's fine, I'm going 10 over. I'm like, are you sure?
Don't let him find out. Yeah, I'm like, just shut up about it and we'll get there. I didn't learn those lessons.
Yeah, clearly.
Whatever.
I did, though.
I learned the lessons by paying not paying the fine, but by having to pay the fucking insurance. That shit, I learned about that. That sucked. Because my first couple ones, I didn't really, I don't know. I think I got them too close together that it hadn't hit my insurance yet.
Oh my god.
And then once it did, I was like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah.
This is wild. Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
What's the car?
This Mustang, it's looking pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
liking it. Where is this going?
So, this Mustang is the new, it didn't say what year it was on the box.
I'm guessing it's like at least a 17. Probably a 19, I mean, or 21 maybe, I don't know. It just came out, so.
I have no idea, because they have the electric ones out now.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
I don't know if Mustang plans on making their coupe cars electric, or what the deal is. I really hope not, because that would be a really bad day for the Mustang community.
How do you feel about the fact that I didn't mean to interrupt, but what do you think about the fact they made an electric Mustang? That's not a fucking Mustang. That's clearly an SUV.
I have opinions about it.
Well, tell us. We're all waiting to hear.
So, when they first came out, I threw a fit. I went to a car show in Orlando with my friend, and I saw one there for the first time, and they just came out, and I looked inside it. The interior is trash.
Really?
It's trash.
That's an expensive car, too.
They did such a cheap job on it. Like,
fucking Ford.
just like, oh god, I was.
You can't even talk. You're so pissed about it.
It was
disgusted, huh?
I was very disappointed. I'm like, okay, yeah, you made an electric car. I'm already disappointed about that, but now you're doing a crappy job in the make of it.
They're really nice. Like Mustangs have nice interiors, like the GT500s and stuff.
Yeah,
they're really.
And it wasn't
sleek.
like that. It wasn't even leather interior like most of them. It was like, what do you call that? Like
leather?
No, the vinyl.
Oh, yeah, vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl. So, it just, it was so gross. I was like, I can't. Like, I can't. Like,
what?
And they had a computer screen in there like the Teslas do.
Oh, whoa. They are really fast. You know, electric cars are super fast.
And they look nice on the outside, but, like, I don't know.
I don't like the outside.
A lot of people that I have spoke to, they're also, like, heavy Mustang fans, are not happy about the SUV.
I'm not a fan about the fact that it's called a Mustang. It's disrespect to the heritage.
It is. It's very disrespectful.
A Mustang, especially like, yeah.
And I feel
Mustang,
like
bro.
if you drive the electric SUV Mustang, then you're not really a true fan of the Mustang community.
No, it's heritage. Like,
yeah.
It's not about. Yeah, it's just like, dude, it can't be a Mustang. Call it anything else. It's a cool car.
Because
I didn't know about the interior. I've never seen one.
There's things that a car has to have in order to be American muscle, and
isn't there requirements?
Yes, there's a requirement.
What are they?
And then
I don't know about them.
Mustangs are American muscle. So if you're calling an SUV a Mustang, it is a lie because it is not American muscle.
This is true.
Like, okay, so the things or what is required to be a muscle car or American Muscle is it has to have 2 doors. It has to have a V8 engine. So that
really, so for that's not true. The V8 part
in the Mustang world, okay.
Well,
Let's just look it up.
There's a lot of like original classic Mustangs. They didn't come with V8s back in the day. They had like inline sixes. There's classic muscle cars. They might not be muscle. I guess they're just like a Mustang. But there's classic cars at car shows that don't have V8s.
Okay, so
it does happen.
What? That is not what I asked, okay? Ugh. What did Siri say the other day? You're like, Safeway, and you're like, I don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Google's now not understanding what I mean when I spoke crystal clear. Movies. I said movies near me, and she's like, I don't get it. What do you mean you don't know what movies are?
The obvious, it has to be American made. And then, like I said, it has to have 2 doors, and it has to have high horsepower.
Okay, yeah, so you can have a high horsepower V6 for sure. That's cool. I mean, that makes sense, but it's very much not what the new Mustang is at all.
No.
I'm a fan of the Bronco, though. Have you seen the new Bronco?
Okay, yeah, so I was also right about what I said about the V8 making...
It does need one?
Yeah, it says... It's not really considered a muscle car if it's a V6 or less.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just a pony car.
Okay, a pony car. Yeah. So it's still respected as a Mustang, classic Mustang or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess the Mach car is just a pony car? The Mach E? It's called the Mach E, the electric one.
The one we're talking about, like an SUV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would just be a pony car then?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
it's not nearly as sexy.
It's not even a pony car, I don't think, because it's electric.
It's so weird.
It's stupid.
They have a new truck that is really cool. It's an electric truck, but I think that when you tow with it, like I don't trust their...
they have an electric truck now?
Yeah, it's called the
Mustang does?
No, Ford.
Oh.
It's called the Ford Lightning.
Oh, I heard about that. I thought you were saying they made a Mustang truck. I'm like, what? No.
I don't think that it's going to be... Like, how is the fuel mileage when I put 15,000 pounds behind it?
Yeah.
Like, is it going to tow?
That's true.
Is that 100 miles? Because I think it's like 300 empty.
Those are good questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be great to commute in, I guess.
I think the reason why I get the business strategy that Ford is doing, because pretty soon here it's going to be illegal to have a gas car in California.
Yeah, really soon, actually.
Super soon. So I think that's why Ford is like trying to get ahead of the game and like make all these like electric cars so they can stay afloat as a company, because this is what people are going to have to buy soon.
Well, and even like us, like we just I was looking at electric cars because gas prices are just...
I would love an electric Volvo. They're really nice.
They're just not fully electric. Oh, I guess the SUV, the XC.
Yeah, that one's the electric one.
Only the 40 though. It's too small. We need a 60.
That's true.
And it's like, if they don't have enough options. Yeah. And they're all super... Like right now, you can't get a chip because of the supply chain shortage. Mm-hmm. So used Teslas, like 2015s, are still going for $30,000. Yeah. And like the new Tesla, the Model 3, is supposed to be like the economic one that anybody can buy. Mm-hmm. Is $60,000. Yeah. And that's not affordable.
Well, there was Teslas at the Volvo dealership we went to, but you said you didn't want it.
Was there?
Yeah, it was like the first day we went. The next day we went, they weren't there anymore.
Yeah. That makes sense.
They like sold out like that day we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or got sold.
Back then, gas wasn't like this. Like I travel a lot, like far. Mm-hmm. So I would not consider electric unless I absolutely had to.
Do you think like there's more to the gas prices raising? Like, do you think this is also a way to get everyone to buy electric cars?
No. I don't think so. I think it has to do with green, like electric. I think there's an agenda. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, but I think there's an agenda to push like a green solution or Green New Deal or whatever it's being called.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not like pushing or subsidizing the reproduction of oil through drilling and whatnot, or building more refineries in America because they're too busy. I mean, I'm building it. I'm doing the Green New Deal. I'm building a solar farm.
Yeah, you are.
We do wind turbines out here. I've built, this is my second solar farm, and they say that they got 22 more on the books. So there's that, but that's nice. But I don't think they're putting that level of commitment into refining oil and stuff.
Right.
Like they had a refinery burned down a couple of years back, never replaced it.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. And we're just outsourcing things more and more every day. Like we just had they pulled tariffs because of China doing bad things to for the solars. Like they're not getting rid of them or like doing environment. They're not monitoring the pollutants of the solar panel production, and so they had tariffs on it, and they waived those for 2 years to get more like a immediate supply and make sure they kept coming from China instead of taking that and producing more in America, or also trying to produce more so we didn't have to rely on China or other countries that like where they mine the cobalt and everything. It's too much outsourced, so they're going to push this whole energy solution to where we can't actually supply it. So we're going to be completely dependent, which is not a good way to, especially in the unstable community that the world is in. As a global community, it's very in flux. And so now's the time to buckle down and make sure you have a supply chain, especially after looking at what happened at COVID and the shipping problem. You need to not have stuff on ships. Supply it on trucks and trains. If it was domestic, you could do that easier. And I don't see any progress in like also acknowledging that and pushing production. Like you can continue doing what you're doing over here. But in the same hand, the left hand's also ramping up American production, American business. That way, one day you can ease off. Or if that supply chain they shut down certain part of China and they don't produce the thing we need, like the chip shortage and stuff, like so that's I just don't think they're thinking about it. But
probably not.
I mean, who am I also? I'm just a guy that builds things. You know, I don't look that deep into it.
Do you think just like because of the shortage of like so many things, do you think this is also like a good time for people to start kind of like going back to the beginning of time where people had their own food and they grew their own vegetables and they didn't have to rely on really anything?
I definitely think that that's important.
Like, that's something we should all start doing again, right? Because, like, we just don't know when there's going to be a food shortage. And, like, they have been telling us there's going to be one.
Yeah, and if you have the ability, the problem is a lot of people don't have the
ability,
the acreage, even a backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do some greenhouse things, but you'll need a patio. So, you know, it's hard, especially in urban areas, to do that kind of thing. It's not as hard to hunt, but there's a lot of propaganda pushed against hunting. And the truth is, hunters are the largest conservationists in the country. If it wasn't for hunters, there would be no conservation. All of the money, I can't say all, and I don't know the right number, but a large amount of the all bullet sales, a percentage goes back to conservation. All deer tags, all elk tags, all bear tags, whatever kind of hunt it is, that goes back. And we have to control these populations. A bear is there to control a deer population, an elk population. Mountain lions are there to also be a competitor with the bear. You know, like that way, no one gets too big. Nothing gets too big. And we also have to be there to monitor them and also maintain the populations because everything's getting pushed out. So as we grow, they have to shrink.
Right.
Unfortunately. And really, if people wanted to be true conservationists, they would just move.
Yeah.
And, like, you give the land back, but no one can do that. You know, you can't not live.
Right.
So it's like, you have to acknowledge that we're doing the thing that you hate the most by just existing. So we have to be a part of the maintenance of it. And if we don't, like they took wolves out of Montana I think they were out for a long time, or Wyoming. Then they reintroduced them. And when they did that, it had been so many generations away that the elk didn't know how, like they didn't have that innate instinct that we're being hunted anymore. Because they only had like a few, like a bear predator instead. But an elk is huge, a bear won't really go after it.
Right.
And
I did not know that.
I don't think so. I know grizzlies and stuff are super aggro like that, but a bear can eat salmon. Like a lot of bears eat. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, especially when they're hitting
Remember
hibernation.
that animal documentary watch on Netflix? How much fish how much salmon they catch a day?
What was the numbers? I forgot.
It was really high.
It was crazy.
It was crazy high.
Yeah, it was. I do remember that.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Right?
That was cool. I think it's called Animals.
Yeah, it is called Animals.
Just Animals.
Yeah.
That was very neat.
Yeah, I like that. Wouldn't call it a TV show.
A documentary, I think.
Yeah, just a
documentary.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows, we just saw, which I'm sure everybody's talking about it, but we just saw
what
on the recommendation of your mother.
My mom.
Yeah, Top Gun.
Oh, Top Gun. Yeah,
yesterday. That was awesome. Tell me, what did you think about it? And do you remember the first one? I don't remember it that well.
I
should have watched
either.
it first. But we can watch it now. But what'd you think about that?
It was very it had my attention the whole time. Like they did a really good job hooking you in, and not really having any dead space to kind of leave you I don't know if this is gonna be good. They did a really good job with the whole production, from the beginning. And
I think they hit all the marks.
Yeah, they did.
I think they took, they hit the marks of the nostalgia. They brought Val Kilmer back.
Yeah.
They found a good way to get him out. He only talked very little. They respected Goose, but also, it looked just like Goose and his son Rooster. And then even at the end scene where they got the F-14 and then they gotta eject just like in the first movie, and it's I had sweaty palms reliving it. It was oh my god, no, not a recap, don't die like your father,
Right.
Right. And
it was really cool how the relationship between Rooster and Maverick changed throughout the course of the movie.
I think that is something that I've experienced that with family members as well.
I really like that because it was bittersweet. It's they didn't, I don't know, it was just how it happened.
So the dynamic of that, father but not father.
Yeah.
And then the why'd you do this? And it was noble not to tell him, but also you could have saved a lot by just having that conversation, and could have been each other's life for years longer, And it's I'm glad, it's nice to see that rekindled. And then
but he didn't tell him because he didn't want him to resent his mom.
No, it makes sense. It's, like I said, it's noble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I think a lot of people probably connected to that scene.
Yeah.
Through personal life.
I think so too.
I did. I personally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then, it was a great movie that I was not bored at all one time.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yep. I've never been so drawn in. I like thrillers.
Same.
But I was I didn't consider, that's not really a thriller, right? But I felt more of a thrill watching that than I do some intense thriller.
I agree.
And I was oh my god. I told you, I was my hands are sweaty.
Right. It was a good movie. I was definitely awake for the whole time. The last one we saw, I passed out. Yeah. But I was also very tired already that day.
It was late, too. You made sure to go to an early showing.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to go to an early one.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I am Like, when I'm tired, I'm just out.
Pregnancy's hitting you hard.
It is.
What's third trimester? How's your first week of third trimester treating you?
This is my first week. I've been on the third trimester since 27 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Or
well, how?
28 weeks, technically.
I stand corrected. How is the first week of your 8th month? Is that how? Did I say that correctly?
Oh, God.
What?
It's funny you say that because we had this whole, like, I literally was mad at you yesterday for saying I have 2 months left when I was like, no, I only have 1 month left.
I do remember.
And then I was
Don't
like,
say that.
Today I'm gonna be accepting the truth that I still have 2 months left.
Yeah. Just like what you said earlier, like it takes you a while to process.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd have had 7 months to realize you have 2 months left, but it took like 7 hours.
I'm just over it, and I don't want to think about 2 more months of this.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I was so mad. I was like, no, I only have 1. Lie to me, please.
I straight up told you. You're just mad and you're taking it out on me. And you're like, no, I'm just pregnant. I'm like, okay, well. Still, and you're like, just tell me it's a week. I'm like, okay.
Anyway, so it's going great, but not fast enough.
It's cool to watch.
It's cool to watch me struggle.
No. It's not that. It's just like, I don't know. It's interesting to watch, yeah.
Why is it interesting to watch
Because
me?
I don't know. It's just fascinating. Like the whole being pregnant and like a day before you were totally fine. And then all of a sudden, like, now you're in a new stage. And things are totally different. And everything that you thought was normal is no longer normal.
Right.
And, yeah. And the body's changing.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's super weird. But, I mean, I'm excited because it's my birthday this week, and then there's the baby shower, and then it's Father's Day, and we get to celebrate your first Father's Day.
Does it count?
I don't know. We celebrate Mother's Day this year.
I know. Technically, I mean, yeah.
I mean, you have a baby coming. Technically, you're a dad.
That's crazy. It's kind of weird.
Right? I think you are.
Cool.
Do you feel like a dad?
Not yet. I mean, yeah, I do.
Maybe it's different for me because she's inside me.
It's not true. Things have changed. Like, I have a different perspective on things now.
You
for
do?
Sure. Yeah. And, that doesn't seem right.
What do you mean you have a different perspective on things now? Like, how were they before versus now?
I don't know. I just look at the world more now. I'm, like, paying attention to politics and, like, news, and I'm like, oh man, and like there's this. That's why I asked, like, is there anything you're afraid of, like, happening or anything?
I mean, I'm not really afraid of, like, a lot of things. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't really be afraid or I'm gonna make myself sick.
Yeah, you don't handle that kind of stuff very well.
No, I mean, yeah, I want to, like, protect her as much as I can, but this book you gave me is telling me I can't really do that. I mean,
that's something to talk about. That's
there is
a
a fine
book,
line, though. There's a fine line. Like, you have to teach your kids how to be safe.
Yes.
But
for themselves. They have to
but you can't protect them from getting hurt.
Yes.
On their own if they're, like, out riding bikes with their friends in the day.
Yeah, or they want to be
fall
alone
off,
and
like,
you're not going to be around.
Yeah.
Like, let them go out in the streets alone.
Right. Like, you have to, like, okay, this is what you do. Like, you look both ways when you cross the street because you don't want to get hit by a car.
Like, I always got in trouble for not checking in.
Really?
And I just wanted to be in, like, I knew where I was. I was right where I told her I would be. I never was doing any kind of mischief, but I didn't want to check in. I was just enjoying. I wanted to be independent. I did not want to check in. And it got me in so much trouble.
That's stupid because
a lot of trouble.
It's crazy how different our parents parent us, because my mom did not ask me to check in. She'd be like, oh, she's fine, whatever. Like,
which is weird.
And, like,
because you'd think where I'm from, you wouldn't have to check in, but your mom is the one that's like, okay.
Yeah. Like, I did a lot of mischief shit, and my mom probably knew, just never said anything.
Yeah. It's like, just like, pick your battles, you know?
There was, like, a time, like, Kate and I rode our bikes in the middle of the night to my high school. And we went in the the band was having like a band thing that night, so I knew the doors would be open.
Uh-huh.
And we went in the bathroom, stole all the toilet paper in the bathroom.
What?
And then we went to this
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't like this one guy at my school because he kept being mean to me. So we TP'd his house.
Oh my
But
God.
we couldn't use I couldn't use the toilet paper at my house because my mom would be mad that we don't have toilet paper left. So we had to go.
So you had to go steal some toilet paper? You're gonna get in trouble for stealing toilet paper. Why did you go to jail? Well,
I didn't get in trouble.
Well, you just didn't get caught. It's not a crime. It's only a crime if you get caught.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. We gotta watch out for this little kid we got coming. I guess.
And then even funnier story is Hayden and I decided TPing is bad for the environment. So like we're like, let's do something more eco-friendly.
No way. Even in your crimes, you're still thinking about the environment.
Yeah. And so we're like, oh, what about National Condom Day?
What is that?
So
there's a National Condom Day?
Well, we made it up.
Oh my God.
And then we're like, well, it's like National Condom Day where you like mail like condoms in people's mail and you tell them to have safe sex. And then you also TP their trees with condoms.
So you still TP, but
you're tying condoms to their trees because it's easier to pick up.
So let me get this right. You got biodegradable toilet paper that's made to dissolve when wet, or latex condoms covered in oil that'll then get into the ground.
I didn't say we were the smartest.
You're gonna go with the not paper and go with the plastic, the thing that lives forever. Fuck. You want to hear a funny condom story though?
Yeah, but the reason why we did that is because it would be like a lot of work for them to pick up the mess after we TP their house if we use toilet paper. But if they use condoms, they can just pick it up and throw it away.
I guess. So
that was her logic.
Alright, you're being courteous at least. Fuck.
Anyways, yes, tell me your crazy condom story.
Okay, so I was in, this is a good one. So I was in ROTC program and the tech program, and there was only there was like 3 1 year, and so the first year there's 2 of us, and okay, 2 guys, no big deal. We got a new guy, we got help. The second year, senior year, we had help.
For what, like a club?
For the ROTC tech program.
Okay, so it isn't like a club.
No, it was like work, like a 2-hour class instead of a 1 hour. It was like work related.
Okay, gotcha.
And so this new kid, like we go to clean up one of these rooms. It was like storage. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of condoms in there, like a pile of condoms by the door, used condoms and wrappers and shit.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what we said. But come to find out, that was the kid that joined our class. He would take his girlfriend back there every day on all the breaks. We had 3 breaks. All the breaks, sometimes after school too.
Oh my God, and, what a
there
freak.
Was like 30 or 40 condoms in there.
Oh my God.
And then he ends up in the class, and we're telling him about this guy. Dude, there's this guy, and there's all these condoms. We only could imagine where they came from. And he's like, oh yeah, that was me. I'm like, no way, bro. Like,
oh my God.
For real? Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, that was me. Like, wow, okay. Okay. So yeah, I ended up he came back to the scene of the crime.
Wow.
Yep, wild story.
That's crazy.
Most used condoms I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, that's so gross. He's gross. You guys still kept him in the class after that?
Yeah, his name's Shane. I like him. He's a good kid. He's a good guy. Not a kid anymore. We were kids then.
Right.
But yeah, I like Shane a lot. He's a good guy. It's just a really funny story.
It is funny. How old were you guys?
Seniors in high school.
Okay. Yeah, high school shit.
Yep.
Gotta live it while you can.
I don't think this is right. I know it's right, but...
What is what? What is not right?
Well, it's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to flop around like this.
It's
I just
not?
don't know. No. It shows it up, see? I know. Weird.
Well, you did something wrong then, I guess. Right?
But it's in the right spot. I guess we shall just continue. Oh, whoa. Whoa.
You did it?
It's ready to launch. Oh, that's cool. I didn't do it fast. Look.
You missed it. Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Oh, was he looking at us?
No, he was like nuzzling his nose like this.
Aw.
Yeah.
I think that it's just about done. I got to do this little back section. Where would you want to move next in Oregon? Because we kind of have a choice. I don't want to move to Washington. Yeah.
I don't want to move to Washington. I'm done with Washington.
Well, we're not done. I'll say when we're done.
You're like, well, we're not done.
Don't get that in your head.
I hate it.
We're going back to Washington. There's way more opportunity up there.
Ugh,
but
gross.
At least until I finish the apprenticeship, we will be staying in Oregon. Is that fair?
Yes. What are my choices?
So like Salem area or Portland, maybe.
Beaverton, please, at least.
Yeah.
Away from it.
Well, the RV parks are not in the city, so except for those ghetto ass.
I didn't know
parks.
Southeast Portland was the ghetto. Okay, you told me that, and I was like, okay, I learned. Like
that was bad. Yeah.
And because you told me that, I told my mom not to find a hotel in Southeast Portland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because,
I think I figured it out.
What did you do? Well, yeah, of course. Why would I not tell my mom that? If you told me it's the ghetto, why would I tell her to get a hotel there?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's right.
Let me see the taillights. Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's my favorite part about the Mustangs is the taillights, the subsequent ones.
We'll just... Oh, the ones that go...
Yes. I wanted those taillights forever. And then I finally paid the money to have them on my last Mustang. And I didn't even have him on there that long before I got rid of it. I know, it was so sad. Remember how I was so sad about it that I took the taillights off before I sold it?
Yeah, you sold them. Back to your friend, right?
Yeah. I was not going to sell the car with those taillights on. No way.
Well, I think that we're almost done with the build. The last step right here. You want to put the Cobra on the Mustang?
Sure.
Okay, let me put the sticker on.
So my options are Beaverton or Salem.
Well, Salem, we won't have to move as much. You could build a community, and I could just go to work down in Eugene. I'm probably going to work in Corvallis next. All right, final touch.
Okay.
Put that on there. There's a new stadium called Reser Stadium they're building for the Oregon State.
Okay, let me have it, because your thumb's not helping me. No, I want to do it.
Okay. It's for OSU, Oregon State University, not the Ducks. Nice.
That's cool.
Yep.
I like it.
This thing's sick. But, hey, well, we finished the Lego. What's your thoughts?
I like it, and one day you're going to buy me another Mustang, right?
Yeah. Well, it's, I mean new one, old one. I wonder if they'll even be legal anymore. It'll be like a bootleg. You had to, like, get on the black market. I found you this Mustang. They didn't destroy it yet.
I don't think they'll ever get rid of classic cars. I think it'll be a crime, too.
That should be a crime.
It's part of American culture.
Yes. I like the way you talk.
But if we... Okay.
It's a beautiful car.
So
I like
how about
we
make an agreement? We have one kid, and then we can afford that $50,000 Mustang.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That would be my second kid.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. We're out till next week and see what we're going to build then. Peace.